Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today we're going to make this piece of ephemera for our junk journals. I like it. I think you'll have all the elements that you will need to be able to make this, because this is a hashtag #TagMeTuesday project, and the link is down below if you'd like to join in the fun. Remember, you will have to accept the rules. That's to be kind to everyone and that there is no selling on that site. Now, the other answer to the question is Cathy's hashtag Cathy Sewing Happiness, but that's wavered. All you have to do is accept the rules to join. So this little piece of ephemera has a hinge right here. So you will place your glue right here on this side, and you will hinge it down onto your page like this, and then it will sit on your page this way. Sometimes I think it's okay, or lots of times I think it's okay just to have some pretty element that really is not about journaling. It's about looking pretty. Now, you really could, if you wanted, you could write on here, and you could actually write on there if you really wanted to. But this is just an aesthetic little page. Is a tab here, so we flip it out. There's your first flip, and then our page looks like this, and this is where the second flip comes in. There's your journaling space. I love how this is turned out. I do believe you have all the elements, so let's begin. So what we want to begin with is we're going to bring in some junk mail. So maybe you have junk mail that has the long window, like my example here, a long window. I find that most of them are long. You might get a wide one like this. You might get a shorter one, that's shorter. So they come in all different shapes. So whatever shape you have, you'll be able to do. Now, I thought in the beginning, well, I'll just do one exactly like the one in my example. And then I thought, wait, maybe we should do something different. So I decided, let's use one with a big window. So it's approximately the same size. It's a little smaller. Now, you will need to consider the size of your page that you're going to be gluing this onto. Now, if you're doing one of those journal styles that has, small pieces and big pieces, and they stick out at different areas, then it really doesn't matter so much. But if you want this to fit inside of a page and be able to glue this down on your page and then have your page coming out around it, then that's when you would need to measure from top to bottom to see that that would fit into your journal. Now, this is 6 inches. So if you're making a 7-inch, like 9 by 7, then this would fit on your page. So you need to consider that. You'll also need to decide, what are you going to put in that window? And how did I get the brown color? Because I didn't coffee dye it. Now, this is the only thing that I'm not sure that everyone will have. I brought my sponge and my frayed burlap. And what I did was I just inked up my sponge, and I went around in kind of circular motions, and I just covered the front part. I didn't do the back because we're going to do something else with the other side. But you can actually make this really quite beautiful by just inking it. You can put some darker elements in it. You can do some lighter. It's all preference how you want to ink yours up. That's how I got this looking like it was coffee dyed. I just inked it. Now you can see I have some darker spots and lighter spots. I like that. I think that looks really good. I personally like it. Alrighty, so that's how I got that colored. I've got a print here. Now, this is from this is from Mrs. Coggs, I think. Mrs. Coggs Crafts, I think that's where this is from. Or it's a My Porch print. Not really positive. I've had it. It was one of my very first digitals that I ever purchased. And I thought that would be pretty in there. So it's a little tall right now. We can cut that down. That's all right. Then what I would like to do is I'm going to bring in some papers, book page, and I need to decide where do I want to place my book page. Do I want it, I'm almost thinking I might want it around this way, like top and side. So let's go ahead and let's trim this part. I'm going to make sure that's really down in there. I'm going to give it a trim. And then, that's not quite wide enough to cover that completely. So I'm going to put it this way. I've got my art glitter glue. I'm using, since I've been cleaning my craft room, I've come across all kinds of things, and this big old long pin I found, and I thought, well, that might work really well to stick in the top of my art glitter glue. And yeah, it's working pretty well because it's not all stopped up. So I think I might switch to that. I did save my lid just in case I didn't like it, but hopefully that's the only thing, trying to get it into that hole. Sometimes I go round and round with it. Alrighty, so I'm just placing it right on the top, and then I'm going to trim it out. Not hard at all. Trim this out like this, and then down like this. Alright, so we've got that part done. Now I would like to cover up this part right here, but I really want my words and not the blank spot. So let's trim off this top right here, and let's glue that on. I think I want it to go like that. I don't know, maybe I only want it to go part way down. I'm kind of thinking about that now. I'm thinking maybe I don't want it that far down. Maybe just a little ways down, like that. Okay, I'm going to do that. Why am I doing this? I don't know. I just thought it looked like an awful lot of book page on there. And so I just decided I really am wanting to cover up these words on my envelope. So why not just place a little bit on there? All right, let's see how that looks. Now, do I want any down here in this corner? That might not be too bad. I kind of like it up here better. Let's try this. Let's trim this right here like this. And let me pop it right here to see if it's not cut very straight right there. I don't know why, but I like this side better. I can't read these words. It's another language for me. But yeah, I do think I want that. Can't tell you why either. I just like it. So I'm going to add, oh goodness, let's see. It comes about right here. So I'm going to add my glue just like this. Pop in my needle. See, that's the part that makes me go round and round, so I don't know. I don't know if doing videos is going to work very well. You don't really want to see me trying to go round and round to get my needle into my glue. But anyway, we'll work it out. We'll see how I do. Maybe I'll get better at hand-eye coordination. Maybe it's practice for me, huh? All right, so we've got that done. Now, you know I do like that ink. I'm actually going to take this. Now, I could have done this before, but I'm just going to lightly go right here like this, just to get a little color on the edge of that book page, just like that. And then, of course, I would want to ink it around the edge like this. Okay, got that done. Now, if you find that, you know, you've got a little bit of ink on your window. Now, this is just some alcohol, and this is a dry wipe. I'm just going to add a little alcohol to it, just a tiny bit. It's not super wet or anything like that. I'm just going to rub my window. That will brighten up your window, and it will take away any of the ink that you had on the window, and it just cleans it. A little window cleaning. Let's bring in my dish here. I have a lot of little pieces from Chapter 1 papers. I'll put their link down below. This is from a couple of their kits, the perfumery and label mixtures. I've got a couple of whale tabs. I have some bling for later on. Let's stick that right here. I think what I want to do is I want to bring in my stamps. I thought I wanted to do this first, but after looking at it, I really don't. I want to do my stamps. So what on earth did I do with my stamps? Let me find my stamp thing that I was using. All right, you guys, in my cleanup, I've actually put away my stamps. And this is the stamp that I'm using today, this long one right here. At least I think it's what I want to use. And I want to place it right here on the edge. And it's going to be okay if it gets onto my book page a little. That's fine. I just want a little decoration there. So get your stamps out. Look for something that you would like to add to your junk mail. And I think I want it to be about right there. Pressing it down and lifting it back up. Oh, I do like that. I think that's very pretty. All right. Do I want any over here? This is, I'm not sure about that. Do I want to change stamps? Maybe. Let's look and see. Do I want to change it up? Oh, that looks good, but you know, I'm going to put other things on here. So I really don't know that, I'm not sure that I really want to do another stamp, change it out, or even stamp it all here. But I'm going to. After looking at that, I think I'd like to stamp it right here. So, got my ink on there. Gotta get it all the way down? I don't know. Very nice. Now this is stays on, so I'm not going to touch that because that will dry and stay right on. I don't know if you can tell. A little bit got on my window. Now if you don't want that to happen, just take a piece of paper or something. You could stick it right there and then it wouldn't get on there if you don't like that. Do I want anything else on here? Do I want to cross it over like this? I'm going to leave it like that for now. I think I'm getting a little carried away since I'm not quite sure with what I'm going to do with my decoration here. So I'm going to lay it over here on the side. Let's put our flip in. I think that's what we need to do next. So I've got just a strip here. Now my strip happens to be 2.5 inches wide, and we're going to make it as long as my envelope. So I'm going to fold it in half. Where's the half part? There we go. Okay, fold it in half, and then just place it right up. Now you want your the folded part right here, to be on the edge because you're going to flip it out. Another thing you need to think about. Do you want this to flip out this way, or would you rather have yours flip out this way? Now that will be that will mean you will probably like it better on one side of the page of the journal as the other. So because I made this one, I think it's because I'm right-handed, I put mine on this side. I'm going to go ahead and change it up, and I'm going to put this one on this side, okay, just for a little change up, so we have something different. I'm going to mark it with my pencil, and then I'm going to trim it off. All right, simple as that. Now what I'd like to do is, I think I'll attach it first to my mail here, my junk mail. So I'm adding my glue. Well, that's all globbed up. I don't like that. Okay, let's get that glob off of there. Nobody wants to see a glob. And let's get this on here like this. Once again, we're going to have to put this in here. I'm going to have to learn a way to get this in there quickly. I'll get better, I think. I think practice makes perfect. That's my motto, and I really believe that's true. So I'll just have to keep practicing with my hand-eye coordination. All right, so we've got our flip on there, or our hinge. You can call it a hinge. So it's going to go out this way. So since it's going out this way, this is the part that I'm going to glue onto my page. So I'll be seeing this part. So I think right now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in my stamp again. I'm going to stamp this up so that it's ready, and it will be decorative and pretty. Now that doesn't mean that you can't cover this up. So like if you glue this onto your page and then you glue something else on top, that's okay too. But just in case you don't, you have that option to just let your hinge show. So putting a little bit of ink on there, and I'm going to do just like that. Just a little bit more down there. All right. Got that done. And I'm going to wipe this up so it doesn't get on anything. So we've got our little hinge, and it's all decorated. Let's go ahead and let's cover this up. So I have another book page right here, and I don't want the border. I want it to really show the beautiful text that this book had, and I'm going to glue it right onto my page just like that. So we're going to cover all this up. You could use whatever glue that you want. A glue stick might be a good choice for this one. I'm just going to stick with my art glitter glue, and I'm adding my glue to the back of the mail, the junk mail. Not the hinge. You're stopping where the hinge, your hinge is folded. You're stopping there. You're not adding it there. You're adding it right here. So I'm just using my hinge to tell me, okay, stop there, because you don't want this page folded up in the hinge. That will make the hinge bulky, and you want it to be easily folded and unfolded because it's your hinge. So trimming it out now. Okay. Oh, I need to glue that in. This is not a pocket. Now, I thought when I was working this up, I wanted to make the video. I was all ready to make my video last night, and we had this really bad thunderstorm and lots of lightning, and the internet went out for 7 hours. Needless to say, I went to bed. So I'm making this video a lot later than what I really wanted to make it. I wanted to make it last night, but as I was, thinking about things about this project, I thought, well, we could put a tab in there and have a tab come out too. Oh, you can do that if you want. I just chose not to do that for this video, but you most certainly can. And this is when you would want to decide if you want your decoration to be like this, so when you put something in your pocket, you would see what you put in. Or if you glue it towards the window, then you would not see what was in, and you would always see this picture. I have chosen not to put a tab in there, a tag in there. But if you want to, that's definitely an option, and you can use that option and make it the way you want it. Today, I'm closing it. So I'm adding my glue on both sides, and I'm just closing my envelope. So I'm truly just using it for a decoration page. And then on this side is where we're going to have our journaling area. Now I think it's time to bring in our little pieces here from Chapter 1 papers. And I'm not sure what I want, and I don't know where I want it or any of that stuff, because, you know, I kind of changed it up on myself. And I added this because, you know, I was going to do the longer one, but I thought, I don't know, I think I'd rather do this one. I'd rather do it this way. Oh, I kind of like it there. Maybe this one here. It's not as busy. And maybe we could add something like this. I don't know, I'm just working something out here. Is this something, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be kind of, it's kind of eclectic. Some people might think it's too busy. I personally like it. But you make yours the way you want, you know. If you want yours to be a certain theme or certain colors, or maybe to go with the journal that you're working on, then that's the way you should make yours. Now I'm just going to add my piece of ephemera. I already inked it up. It's ready to go. I'm going to pop it on. That's some on my book page to show. Maybe like that. And then I think I want this one on top. Get some glue on my finger there. Get it off. And maybe something like that. I do like this this square blue right up here at the top. To me, it kind of breaks everything up a little bit. Okay, got that. Now we've got our tab. I'm thinking I want a solid tab because this way we're pulling it out. We're opening our hinge up this way. Whoop, nope, it's this way. So we're putting our tab over here. Boy, it's a good thing I looked. Oh my goodness. Okay, so our tab's going over here. So, like I say, I usually always put it on the other side, but you know, it's good to have on both ways, especially if you mass make some things and then you go to use them. Maybe you want one on the left-hand side of the paper. Maybe you want one for the right-hand side and you don't have one, vice versa, you know what I mean. So it's good to have them both ways. You just have to remember which way you're making it at the time. So I'm going to add my whale tab. If you don't have a whale tab, you don't need a whale tab. You can just use a standard size tab. And if maybe you don't even have a standard size tab, you can just take a rectangle shape piece of paper, cut it down to about, what is that, about an inch, fold it in half, and there's your tab. So you don't have to have anything special. And let's see, I think I want to add maybe, look at that, where they splice that together. Maybe a little bit of lace. Yeah, this, you know, put everything in the kitchen sink in this one. Yeah, let's just do that, right? I'm going to do that. I am most certainly going to do that. I'm going to put everything in the kitchen sink on this one. We've used our stamps, we've used ephemera. Now we're using a little bit of lace. How about if I just put a tiny bit, be right up there at the top? I think that will be just perfect. Now this is when I'm going to bring in my hot glue gun. You know, I use this for certain things so that I am able to keep going on my decorating during a video, because otherwise I would have to let it dry. So I gotta get it up here Just a little tiny piece right there, just to add a little more interest. This is a little vintage piece of lace. There we go, you guys. Now, I would like to add a little bling as well. Now, do I want, there are the pearls. I'm thinking I want this gold. And let's look at this gold. Yeah, I want this gold on here. I think that adds a lot, and I also think it brings this gold. I think it's an apple, because those look like apple blossoms. All right, now I'm not sure if I want to pop that on yet, because we're on the back here, and that will make a big, a little bulge. Let's talk about our flip out. So I have got a piece of coffee dyed paper, and I'm going to need to trim this down to fit in here, and I just want a little bit in here. I don't want it to be huge. I'm trying to decide what I want. I'm going to turn this back the other way so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to trim this right here, and I'm going to trim this. What happened to my, oh, there. I'm sorry, guys, but you disappeared. I'm going to trim it right here. Move this up, trim it right there. Okay. Let's bring in, I think I'm going to have to bring in my larger, now that I got this all out, don't need it quite yet, my larger guillotine to be able to cut this. Here we are. And let's trim it down this way first. Either way, I'm going to cut that one mark off. It's okay. There. Oh yeah, I like that placement better, because remember, we're going to have to not hinge it. We're going to have to anchor this. We're going to be gluing it on, but you don't want it flipping open all the time. So we're going to need to add another. No, let's see. Let's do it this way. We're going to need another tab to hold it in place so the papers don't flip out. So I'm just inking it quickly here, guys, because once I glue that down, it's going to be much harder to get this inked. And because I just trimmed that, I'm going to need to quickly ink this. Now, if you don't ink, you guys, it's okay. You don't have to ink. It's a personal preference, and it's not a necessary thing. You don't have to ink at all by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so I want this to fold out this way. So I'm going to glue this down first, and all I'm going to glue is the back. Okay, so the back of our little hinged out booklet, or what do you want to call it, a piece of paper, hinged out piece of paper. Glue it down using whatever glue that you like. I'm sticking with my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to line it up and place it in here the best I can, kind of over to one edge though, because I want to give myself enough room to place this here. And then you're going to need to, see, that's an awful lot. I need to trim that down. So I'm going to have to trim this down. If that happened to you, do you see what happened? I put this here, but I should have, that's going to be kind of, I don't want to struggle trying to get this in and out. Well, before I cut it, we'll see if it's a struggle once I add my other piece to it. That's what's going to hold our pages closed. So I'm just going to, I could do it this way. No, that's even worse. Okay, I'm going to just put this here. I could switch. No, I'm sticking with what I first decided. And I'm going to place it right here on the edge. We might need to cut it down. We'll see. Because what I want to do is I want to maybe place this here. It's just going to strengthen your page. Whoop, I didn't put enough glue on that, did I? It's going to strengthen your page, or I pulled too hard. That's probably what I did. I pulled too hard. It's an easy fix. We'll just pop that back on there. It will strengthen your page so that when you know, you're going to have to kind of pull on it to get that to open up, but I also need it to kind of bend. So maybe we need this one. I think I need to cut this down. Yeah, I have decided that I need to cut this down. And where do I need to cut this? About right here. Now let's see if we can do that, Cathy. No, this cannot possibly be that hard. We're going to trim it down, just like that. So if you run into this issue like I just did, I didn't run into the issue the first time I made it, but that's going to be a problem if I don't remember to stick this back in my glue. This is how you fix it. Hopefully this is not too much. And if it is, we're going to put something else on the edge of the page. There's a way to fix everything. Oh yeah. Okay, see how it just barely catches? That's what we want. We just want it to catch just a little bit. Now, do I like that on there, or do I like this on there? I really like this. I don't know what it is. I just think it's really pretty. So I'm going to glue this on. Now, I suppose you could make that into a pocket if you wanted to. I'm choosing not to. There's always so many options that you can do. When someone makes a piece of ephemera and they show you how you make it, there's so many options. So if you want that option and you want to put a tuck spot there, then most definitely, I can't get that in. There we go. I don't know how that's going to work, guys. Oh, we'll see how I do with that. I always think it's so pretty when I see other people do it, but you know, nobody wants to see me trying to get that in my glue. Alrighty, so we've got that on there like that. Do I want anything else on here? I don't think so. I think that's a maybe. Let me think about that just a second. I think maybe we might want it. Here's my little tiny scissors. Oh, who knows what I did? Oh, here they are. They're over here, guys. Well, that might be pretty, but then that's going to be kind of funny when you try to write on it. I don't want that problem. You could put it down here, and then you would see it underneath here. Okay, let's get this over here. Lay this out. You could put it there, and then it would be underneath like that. That's sweet. That's very sweet. Why don't we do that? We'll put it right here. Do we want all of that on there? No. Yeah, I think that's really sweet. Let's do that, you guys, and then we'll be able to see it on the other side. And that will be very nice. This is such old lace that it's very flimsy. Oh, that is really sweet with that underneath. Now, let's add those pearls, because I wrote, not pearls, flat back, well, the flat back gems, whatever you want to call them. I think that will really set it off. So, adding those. One, I'm going to put one here. Two, I'm going to put one in the middle, hope it fits. If I get it on there right, it will fit. There. Yeah, that is definitely what it needed. So this is the hinge. It goes on your page like this, and then this one hinges out this way, and then this one goes on your page like this, and it hinges out this way. You guys, I hope you've enjoyed this project, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.